Hi again. This is a look at one of my favourite levels ever from the old COD 4 Modern Warfare, which is Overgrown. So this is the remaster, which I picked up again in the Christmas sale from PSN. Um, I played through the campaign of Infinite Warfare, but almost all of my online multiplayer has been on the COD remastered because it just brings back some quite ludicrous amounts of memories. So this was always one of my favourite maps on it back when it was out on the PS3. Um, it was normally reasonably good on this, so I'm still fairly low level. Got the M4, which is one of my favourite assault rifles in the game. Currently got the red dot. Prefer the ACOG. Haven't quite got enough kills to open up with the ACOG yet. It does look amazing in comparison to how it was on the PS3. Off to a reasonable start there. I got killed once. I killed them once. So yeah, it's a fair trade. So the map plays exactly as you would expect it to, and it is quite weird. The nostalgia factor is huge for me in terms of this across an awful lot of maps. You know, I've been rediscovering rooms and in particular sniping spots, routes through the map, choke points that, you know, some of which I remembered well, some of which I'd completely forgotten about. That building we're looking at directly in front was always a favourite of mine in terms of being able to stand your ground, swap from side to side, opening up two fairly good choke points in the process. Certainly it made one of the other buildings quite a tricky one to defend as a result, but you know, if you got in the right place there, you could also fight back. It's just such a well designed map, in my opinion, and as a result was one of the ones I really did enjoy playing. To the bookcase and past that. So as you can see, it's not an easy building to defend by any stretch of the imagination, particularly as I've not unlocked the claymores yet. Claymores do make it much easier. Oh, thank you for standing in my way. That's always nice. But as you can see, you've got a really good view of that building opposite, and a lot of people come through the back there, and makes it a fairly nice spot to be in. I know some people will accuse me of camping, but do you know what? I really don't care. I play it how I want to play it. Other people play it how they want to play it. Still move around a fair bit. Still, you know, get kills, get killed. I'm not the greatest gamer ever. Never claimed to be, never will do so. But I'm certainly not the sort of person to sit in one place for absolutely the entire match. Sorry. And just wait on people to stumble across me. I do use the mini-map, I do, you know, try and put a decent bit of team play in there. This is just team deathmatch, so no objectives other than take out the opposition. I do remember what was, you know, quite revolutionary about COD when it first came out was what I'm doing just here, which is the ability to shoot through materials. You know, things like Rainbow Six Siege have taken that to entirely new levels, but this was the first title I can remember where it made such a huge difference. And you know, you really did have to go careful where you were hiding, but also think about what you could do to others in that regard. So sorry there, just admiring my use of the mini-map to take that guy out as he came up the stairs. So as you can see, the lighting's incredibly good on this now, the entire game. Looks good, plays well. And I'm on a little bit of a streak here, so let's see if I can call in an airstrike and actually kill anybody. I always used to have a habit of calling in an airstrike and never managing to hit a single bloody person. So that's me dead, so we may as well look at the airstrike. And no, nobody's up and about on the map that I can see, so let's just whack one down over there and see what happens. I very much don't get anybody, but no, that's me dead instead. Starting in the barn. One of the reasons why I think I always like this map is I'm not much of a Twitch player, so the up-close, last-minute millisecond reactions required for it. I'm an old GIF now, so it's difficult for me to compete against people who are significantly younger with significantly faster reflexes than me. So I prefer something with longer sightlines that allows you to, as you can see just there, me dying by not reacting quick enough. I prefer something with slightly longer sightlines that requires a bit more of a tactical approach in that regard and allows you to spot people from a distance and take them out. I'm much better in terms of my gameplay at that. And this map just suits me in that regard. I might just get a good couple there. Ooh, M14. I always loved the M14. Single shot really did let it down in that regard, which made it more challenging, but you could take somebody out quite well with it. So, it was quite useful in that regard. Yeah, that's him. One thing I've definitely noticed is, in comparison to the more recent COD games, is a couple of things. One, you have to compensate much more for the actual movement of the guns when you're firing fully automatic, so you do have to think about that a lot more than you do on the more recent titles, and you're moving slightly slower. It's slightly more realistic, but it's not, you know, the bouncy jump around of a lot of the more recent titles. Yeah, but they give no reason for that. They've got their justification with the various rigs and things, but this is a bit old school. Which seems odd to say for a title I grew up playing, and it doesn't seem that long ago that I was playing it. But it is a more old school approach to it. Ooh, you should have looked behind you, shouldn't you? And as a result, I really do enjoy it. I'm finding I'm playing it a lot. It's bringing back a lot of daft memories for me in that regard. Let's see if I can actually hit somebody with this one. Yay! I've got an airstrike kill, so in comes the helicopter. It's gonna help us because it's a marginal match at the moment. Ooh, and off goes a flashbang. I'm completely blind, so just fire randomly. Okay. Nope, my helicopter got them for me instead. That was quite handy. Oh, and I'm dead instead. There we go. Managed to get an assist off the back of that though, and there's my helicopter, which somebody is shooting missiles at. Leave my helicopter alone. Cheeky bugger. That's a bit hopeful given the distance. It's setting up your creator class. It's interesting to see how far creator class has come over the intervening years, because it's quite limiting what you've got the ability to do now, which is on the remastered in comparison to, you know, the pick 10, pick 11, pick etc that you've got in a lot of titles these days. And they do give you much more flexibility. You know, you've got one attachment, and the attachment range is very limited when it comes to this. But that said, you know, things like the M4 as standard do get a full grip, which you have to open up and equip separately nowadays. So it's different ways of playing it, different ways of looking at it. You can also see one new addition that some people have been up in arms about. Doesn't really bother me, and that is the skins on weapons. So they have monetized it a little bit with regard to that. You know, you get your supply drops, you get your unlocks, and they're not just the calling cards and things anymore. You now do also have skins on weapons as well. As I say, doesn't really bother me. Somebody wants to run around with a Barrett Light 50 with Christmas paper on it. Fair play to them. I really don't care. I normally go for the slightly more realistic looking camo, shall I say. But, you know, each to their own. It really doesn't bother me, and I don't think it spoils the game massively. You know, there's nothing yet that has been opened up that you have to have that is going to be completely match breaking if you don't pay money for it. So I'm enjoying it nonetheless, and you know, it's good fun playing it again. quite enjoy it. So we'll see how this match goes. So it's a good solid match. The matchmaking is as good as ever. One thing I will say is I downloaded it from the PSN store, as I say, because it was in the sale. It took forever to download, which does indicate that there's quite a few people doing exactly the same, because I've got a 200 meg fibre connection and everything else I download just whizzes by, and there was no issue with my connection at the time, and it took an age to download as a result. Just I think purely of the demand that was being placed on it. And there we go, we lost that match by 1 kill, so that was ludicrously close. And what we'll also see is I did manage to get MVP on the losing team. Which is, you know, slight silver lining there, but not brilliant. But yeah, 16-7, not bad at all. So thank you for watching this, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like and subscribe to more. Thanks very much.